Hello students, in this video you are going to listen to a very wonderful story. The name of the story is Rip Van Winkle. So let us go ahead and read the story. So at the very beginning I will just give you an outline of the story. So this story is about Rip Van Winkle, a good-natured but lazy man who goes away into the hills and falls asleep. When he awakens 20 years later, Rip finds that quite a few things have changed. So dear students, it's a very unique story where you will come across a person who goes to the hill and he falls asleep there and he wakes up after 20 years. Just imagine if a person goes to sleep and wakes up after 20 years, what will happen? So first of all, we have to know about Rip Van Winkle. So who was Rip Van Winkle? So Rip Van lived in a village at the foothills of the Catskill Mountains. So there was a village in the foothill, in the downside of the mountain Catskill, and there lived our Rip Van Winkle. He was very kind neighbor, ready to help everyone. Everyone liked him. So he was a very kind person. So he helped everyone. Because of that, all the neighbors, they liked him so much. The children of the village shouted with joy whenever they saw Rip. He was liked by the children very much. So whenever they saw Rip Van Winkle, they shouted with joy. They were very happy. They felt very happy to see Rip Van Winkle. Why they liked it so much? Why did they like Rip Van so much? It is because he played with them, taught how to fly kites and shoot marbles, and told them long stories. So dear children, Rip Van Winkle did whatever the children liked. All of you like listening to stories, right? And if that is too longer, then you like too much, right? So Rip Van Winkle told them very long stories. Then he taught them how to fly kites, then how to shoot marbles. So all the interesting things were done by Rip Van Winkle to the children. So they were very happy when they saw Rip Van Winkle. But our Rip Van Winkle had a serious problem, serious flaw. So what was the problem with Rip Van Winkle? Let's see that. So only problem of Rip was he was very lazy. He was very lazy. Dear children, in the previous poem, The Lazy Frog, you read about a lazy frog who even did not open his eyes. So he preferred to sleep always. So our Rip Van Winkle also was like that lazy frog. He did not work on his own farm and just idled away his time. His fences were falling to pieces. His cow was going astray, which grew on his farm. So as he was very lazy, his entire field was not cultivated. It was barren. So it was full of weeds. So uncultivated grass grew there, and the fences also fell into pieces because he did not bother to take care of all those things. and his only companion was a dog, and his name was Wolf. So what did Rip Van Winkle do when he was to spend his time, because he was not doing any work? So to spend his time, to avoid work, he would walk away into the forest with his dog. So just to idle away his time, he went to the forest with his dog and passed his time there in the forest. Now something very interesting will happen to our Rip Van Winkle. So what happened one day? One day, Rip and his dog went to the highest part of the mountains. So one day they walked on and on, and they reached to the highest part of the mountain. It was late afternoon and he was tired. So as he walked a lot, so it became afternoon and he was so tired, exhausted. So he wanted to have some rest. So he laid down and began daydreaming. He laid down there by thinking that it is not possible to walk more or go back to his home now immediately. So he lied down and he started daydreaming like a lazy person. Next, what happened? Rip met short people. Something very interesting happened now. What happened? A short old man with thick hair and grizzled beard, who was carrying a barrel, called his name. An old man with thick hair, as you can see in the picture, and grizzled beard, who was carrying a wooden barrel, called his name, like Rip Van Winkle, like that. That short man was calling him. He made signs to help him carry the barrel. The short man was carrying a barrel, and he indicated, he signaled Rip to come and help him. Rip helped the stranger, and together they reached a place where there were some more odd-looking men. They were playing a game called 9 pins. So they were playing a game 9 pins, just to throwing. And Rip reached there. So it was a very strange atmosphere, strange people, very short and with grizzled beard and thick hair. But all these short people had different colors of their hair. Okay. So afterward, what happened, children? Rip drank a strange drink. The short man's companion emptied the contents of the barrel into glasses and made Rip drink it. So the barrel that Rip Van Winkle and the short man they carried, it contained a strange, wonderful drink. So after all the short people, they forced Rip Van Winkle to drink. As Rip was very, very thirsty after long walk, he wanted to have it also. And after drinking that particular drink, Rip fell into a very deep sleep. Very deep sleep. What happened later? Rip returned to his village. So when Rip woke up, Rip could not find his dog. After taking that drink, Rip Van Winkle went to sleep, and when he woke up, he was calling his dog Wolf, but he could not find Wolf anywhere nearby him. He began to descend to the mountain to go back to his village. So he thought that he slept for some time, and Wolf has left him. So he came down to the mountain on the way to his village. But it was very strange that people were looking strangely to Rip. In his place, when he entered his place, all the people were looking very strangely at him. Rip also could not recognize the people of his village. It was very strangeful that Winkle was not able to recognize his own villagers, recognize his neighbors. He developed long white beard and he had wrinkled face like old man. He became very old. He had very long white beard and his face was completely wrinkled. He was not aware when somebody pointed out. When somebody pointed out, then only Rip Van Winkle found that really he had a very long beard and wrinkled face. An old man walked up to him and exclaimed where he was for the last 20 years. One old woman somehow could recognize Rip Van Winkle and came nearer to him and asked him, "What happened, Rip Van Winkle? You are welcome, but where were you for these 20 years?" That means, dear children, Rip Van Winkle slept in that particular hill for more than 20 years. So is it not very strange? It's very strange. So that happened to our Rip Van Winkle. Dear children, you read the story given in the PDF very carefully and try to understand the story and enjoy the story. Okay? Thank you.